From dusty fields to the iconic heartlands, American harvesters have shaped the nation's agricultural story in ways that few recognize. Today, we're uncovering 10 antique harvesters that I doubt you've ever seen before, each a testament to the innovative spirit of the early 1900s. From modest horsepower marvels to big machines built for sprawling fields, these pioneering giants paved the path for modern farming. Step back in time with me, and let's see how they've changed agriculture forever. Number 10, the Holt Combine Harvester. Holt Manufacturing Company, founded by Benjamin Holt in California, made history with its early track-type tractors, an innovation that later inspired the name Caterpillar. But before all that, Holt introduced one of the earliest combine harvesters in the first decade of the 1900s. The goal was straightforward: unite reaping, threshing, and winnowing into one machine. The contraption became a lifeline for farmers who wanted to handle large wheat fields in less time with less labor. Unlike stationary tractors that demanded separate equipment for cutting, the Holt Combine Harvester ran on steam or a gas-powered engine and boasted around 40 horsepower in its prime models. Its wide header, often around 12 feet, was massive for the time, letting it cut more crop in fewer passes. Early attachments were mostly geared towards small-grain cereals like wheat, barley, and oats. Farmers pulled or propelled the machine through fields, letting the integrated mechanism separate grain from chaff on the move. Now, the entire design reflected Holt's commitment to efficiency. Tracks replaced standard wheels in some versions to help slog through soft or uneven ground without sinking, an edge in soggy fields or after seasonal rains. This track-laying idea would eventually lead to military tank tracks, but that's a story for another time. The Holt Combine Harvester proved how advanced technology could streamline through hard labor. Jokes aside, it was a game changer. Farmers who adopted it quickly reduced manual work, saved money on extra teams of workers, and harvested more acreage daily. Holt's vision laid the groundwork for future self-propelled combines, showcasing the practical benefits of merging multiple harvester steps into a single path across a field. Number 9, the Gleaner Baldwin Model A. Gleaner is a name that still resonates with farmers today, but it all began back in the early 20s when the Baldwin brothers started designing their own harvesting equipment in Nickerson, Kansas. In 1923, they launched the first commercially successful combine, the Gleaner Baldwin Model A. While modern Gleaner combines are known for their distinctive silver exteriors, the Model A was humble yet revolutionary for its era. This pull-type combine was typically attached to a tractor, eliminating the need for horse-drawn power. It showcased a cutting width of around 10 to 12 feet, a respectable size that allowed smaller-scale farmers to increase productivity significantly. One of its major selling points was its pivoting separator, which helped remove more grain from the straw while minimizing losses. With a capacity that topped what any individual thresher and binder setup could do, the Model A quickly became a hit. Despite its simplistic look, the Model A featured a sturdily built mainframe that could be adapted for various small grain crops. It supported attachments like different headers for wheat, oats, and barley, making it versatile for Midwestern farming conditions. Farmers found that they could harvest more acreage with fewer hands, freeing them to focus on other tasks or simply get a little rest. And let's not forget, in the 20s, rest was a luxury. The Baldwin brothers' innovation extended to the Gleaner's cleaning system, which used a series of sieves and fans to blow out chaff and collect as much grain as possible in just a single pass. This combination of mechanical reliability and user-friendly design turned Gleaner into a trusted name. Even decades later, the Model A's influence can be traced in modern combines that still rely on the principle of thorough separation and efficient grain cleaning. Talk about a legacy worth remembering. Number 8, the John Deere No. 2 Combine. Well, we can't discuss American harvesters without mentioning John Deere, a brand synonymous with farm machinery. The John Deere No. 2, introduced in 1927, was the company's earliest foray into the world of combine harvesters. Although relatively small by today's standards, it marked a seismic shift for farmers who were used to older reaper binder or stationary threshing setups. Suddenly, there was a single piece of equipment that could cut and thresh small grains right in the field. The No. 2 combined a cutter bar, usually around 8 to 12 feet wide, depending on the model, with a well-engineered separation chamber. This chamber used a combination of concaves, beaters, and straw walkers to remove and clean the grain effectively. For horse-drawn scenarios, the No. 2 offered a ground drive that converted the wagon's wheel movement into the combine's internal motion. However, many farmers upgraded to tractor power, which delivered steadier operation and reduced the manual labor needed. Though the No. 2 was overshadowed in later years by John Deere's Model 12A, it firmly established John Deere as a serious contender in the harvester market. Designed for wheat, oats, rye, and barley, this machine helped Midwestern farmers tackle harvest season with more speed and less back-breaking work. The minimal horsepower requirement, often in the 20 to 30 HP range for tractor-drawn variants, made it accessible to plenty of smaller operations. Technically speaking, the number 2 boasted a simple belt and chain drive system that was surprisingly efficient and easy to maintain, especially during busy harvest times. Attachments like a pickup reel or a straw spreader can be fitted to tailor to combine to local conditions. Farmers raved about how the number 2 saved time and labor costs, which in the throes of the Great Depression could make or break a season. For John Deere, it was a stepping stone to bigger and more sophisticated models that soon ruled the American heartland. Number 7, the McCormick-Deering number 61. International Harvester reigned supreme in the early 20th century agriculture, and the McCormick-Deering number 61 combine stood as one of its landmark achievements. Introduced in 1939, the number 61 was a pull-type combine known for its robust construction and adaptability to various terrains. Built under the McCormick-Deering brand, a nod to Cyrus McCormick's Reaper invention, the model offered improved threshing efficiency and made harvest time more predictable, even on small to mid-sized farms. At its core, the number 61 demanded around 25 to 30 horsepower to pull and operate effectively, making it compatible with many tractors of the era. One of its big selling points was its overhead cylinder and beater design, which streamlined the threshing process by applying more uniform pressure to the incoming crop. The combine's cleaning mechanism included a series of adjustable sieves, letting farmers tweak settings depending on whether they were harvesting maybe wheat or rye or even rice in some cases. The header width generally started at around 8 feet and could be bumped up for larger fields. The combine's design also allowed for interchangeable components, like a cutter bar and reel, meaning that farmers could switch from different cereals without too much downtime. A hitch system at the front helped position the combine offset from the tractor, allowing for better visibility and reducing the chance of driving over uncut grain. Now, in an era when breaking down in the middle of the field could spell disaster, the number 61's mechanical simplicity became one of its biggest assets. Its well-lubricated bearings, belt drive system, and simple gearboxes made maintenance relatively straightforward. Hey, jokes aside, some older farmers have said if you kept a grease gun and a few spare belts on hand, a number 61 could run until the cows came home. For International Harvester, it proved that reliability and adaptability could win the hearts and wallets of countless American farmers. Number 6, the Allis-Chalmers All-Crop 60. Allis-Chalmers broke new ground in 1935 with the introduction of the All-Crop 60, a small pull-type combine that truly lived up to its name. While earlier machines often specialized in wheat or barley, the All-Crop 60 was designed to tackle a wide variety of crops, from oats and rye to soybeans and clover seeds, making it a veritable Swiss Army knife for farmers. The 60 in its name referred to its 60-inch or 5-foot cut, an optimal size for smaller fields, which are common in many parts of the U.S. Running comfortably on around 20 horsepower, this combine was known for its simple design. Its versatile cylinder and concave assembly could be adjusted quickly to accommodate different crops. While a set of specialized sieves took care of smaller seeds. The machine came with an optional pickup attachment for windrow grain, further reducing the time spent in the field. Now, in short, farmers could switch from harvesting wheat one day to tackling grass seed the next. No major overhauls required. One remarkable feature was its rubberized canvas draper belts, which transported cut crops from the header to the threshing cylinder without excessive shaking or tangling. This gentle handling helped preserve the quality of delicate seeds. Moreover, the combine's compact footprint let farmers maneuver through tighter spaces and rolling terrains, especially in regions where farmland wasn't just endless flat acreage. The All-Crop 60 gained a near-legendary reputation for reliability. So long as its main drive belt was in good shape and it was properly greased, the combine seemed to work tirelessly. Its affordability was another plus, allowing smaller family farms to reap the benefits of mechanical harvesting without plunging into debt. Now, this approach to practicality and cost-effectiveness made the All-Crop 60 a mainstay in the Allis-Chalmers lineup for years, and many units remained in service long after bigger, flashier models all hit the scene. Number 5, the Minneapolis Moline G4 Combine. The Minneapolis Moline, formed by the merger of several companies, including Minneapolis Threshing Machine Company and Moline Plow Company, brought the G4 Combine to market in the late 1930s. This machine arrived at a time when farming was shifting from heavy reliance on manual labor to more mechanized solutions, and the G4 struck a balance between performance and simplicity. Once the crops were cut by its header, often offered at widths from 8 to 12 feet, the G4's threshing system got to work. knocking grain loose efficiently. Now, farmers appreciated how the G4's internal beater and shaker system methodically sifted grain from the straw, sending kernels to the clean grain tank while blowing out lighter chaff. Now, Minneapolis-Moline recommended a tractor with around 25 to 35 horsepower to pull the G4, making it accessible to many mid-sized farms. Because the G4 wasn't the biggest combine on the market, it was nimble enough for fields with uneven ground, which was crucial in areas not blessed with that pancake flat terrain. The brand's emphasis on straightforward engineering paid off. The G4 used a gear and chain drivetrain that was relatively easy to service. Belts and pulleys were kept to a minimum, preventing some of the common mechanical headaches that plague more complicated machines. And since replacement parts were widely stocked by Minneapolis-Moline dealers, downtime during a busy harvest was cut to a minimum. Interestingly, the G4 also tested out some early innovations in crop handling attachments, like a corn head for picking and shelling in the field. Now, while not as polished as modern corn heads, the fact that the G4 could be adapted for different harvests was a boon for resourceful farmers. Add that to a robust reel mechanism to feed grains into the header, and you had a machine that was more than capable of handling the yield demands of the era. All told, the Minneapolis-Moline G4 exemplified how mechanical efficiency and adaptability could coexist in a single, farmer-friendly package. Number 4, the Oliver Model 15 Combine. Born from the Oliver Farm Equipment Company, which arose from the merger of 4 different equipment manufacturers in the late 1920s, the Model 15 Combine made its mark in the mid-30s as Oliver's commitment to modern harvesting. This pull-type combine usually featured an 8 to 10-foot header, making it a solid choice for a medium-sized farm looking to upgrade from labor-intensive binder and thresher operations. Under the sheet metal, the Model 15 packed a cylinder and straw walker design. The cylinder aggressively threshed out grain, while the straw walker shook loose the remaining kernels. The result was a cleaner sample in the grain tank and fewer kernels left behind in the straw pile. As with many combines of the era, the 15 needed about 20 to 30 horsepower to operate well, allowing it to pair nicely with Oliver's own line of tractors, like maybe the Oliver 70 or 80. Now, one standard feature was Oliver's approach to residue management. Farmers could adjust the combine's tailboard to distribute straw across the field, making it easier to plow under later. Now, this early concern for soil health foreshadowed today's emphasis on preserving topsoil by returning organic matter back to the land. Now, in addition, the Model 15 offered different sieve sizes and screens, allowing farmers to create settings that were customized for wheat, oats, and other small grains. Thanks to its rugged construction, the Model 15 was lauded for its durability. Frame stress points were reinforced to prevent cracking under heavy loads, and the machine's primary drive components were well sealed against dust, a constant hazard in dry harvest time conditions. Also, let's not forget the standard reel design, which was gentle enough to prevent excessive shatter loss. To top it off, farmers had the option of equipping a canvas conveyor draper to ferry cut crops smoothly to the threshing cylinder. Though the Model 15 is overshadowed in modern memory by larger self-propelled combines, it was an influential step in Oliver's harvester evolution. It balanced effective threshing with relative simplicity, helping countless farmers transition into a new era of mechanical convenience. Talk about a piece of gear that earned its keep. Number 3, the Advanced Roomley Combine. Advanced Roomley was a powerhouse in early American farm equipment, especially noted for its oil pull tractors. Yet the company also ventured into harvesting technology, producing pull-type combines during the 1920s and 30s. While not as prolific as some competitors, the Advanced Roomley Combine showed the brand's commitment to delivering robust farm machinery capable of handling large fields and heavy yields. No small feat in an era when farmland was rapidly expanding across the Midwest. Now, these combines typically require a tractor of around 20 to 35 horsepower, often an oil pull or similarly sized unit. Constructed with a wide header of up to 12 feet, they featured a sturdy reel and canvas draper that moved cut stalks into the threshing drum. The drum's design, along with a series of concaves, effectively separated grain from chaff, which then was directed into a grain tank or bagging system. Though the mechanical layout was reminiscent of other combines at the time, Advanced Roomley prided itself on ruggedness, heavy-gauge steel and reinforced joints that withstood the season's wear and tear. A unique aspect was the brand's emphasis on oil-based lubrication, a carryover from its oil pull legacy. With strategic grease points and oil reservoirs, the combine was less likely to seize up in the middle of a harvest, a fate that could devastate a farm's income if repairs took days. Moreover, the machine's design often included easy-to-remove inspection panels, letting farmers quickly check belts, pulleys, and shaft for debris and damage. Adjustable sieve settings allowed for switching between grains, making the Advanced Roomley more versatile than one might assume. It was also known to perform well in slightly damp conditions, thanks to robust drive components and a well-seated threshing chamber that minimized clogging. This adaptability, combined with straightforward servicing needs, solidified the combine's reputation. Even though Advanced Roomley eventually merged with Allis-Chalmers in 1931, the memory of these combines lives on as a testament to an era of innovation driven by no-nonsense engineering and the everyday demands of the American farmer. Number 2, the Nichols & Shepard Red River Special Combine. Nichols & Shepard, a Michigan-based firm originally known for threshers and steam engines, also turned out notable combines in the early 1900s. One of their hallmark offerings was often referred to as the Red River Special Line, a name that was already famous from the company's threshing machines. By leveraging the proven design from their stationary threshers, Nichols & Shepard crafted combines that excelled at extracting grain effectively while coping with the dusty, punishing conditions of a harvest. Now, with cutting widths generally at the 12-foot range, Nichols & Shepard combines demanded a reliable tractor of at least 25 horsepower, and many farmers paired it with the company's own steam engines during the transition to gasoline tractors. The combine incorporated a robust cylinder with adjustable concaves, ensuring the machine could handle everything from wheat to rye. Meanwhile, a series of straw walkers completed the separation, funneling grain into a tank or sacks for transport. Now, one reason that farmers gravitated toward the Red River Special's combine version was the brand's commitment to sturdy construction. Heavy wood and metal frameworks were a carryover from their thresher designs, giving the combine a rugged edge in fields that weren't always rock-free or perfectly level. The distinctive red paint job made it stand out, and some older photos show these machines trundling through endless rows of golden grain, a testament to their popularity in the Great Plains. Maintenance proved straightforward, a key factor in an era when local blacksmiths and a farmer's own ingenuity often served as the repair department. As long as the belts were tight, bearings were greased, and the cylinder was properly adjusted, the Red River Special combine hummed along. Now, some owners even retrofitted them with homemade accessories, a sign that Nichols & Shepard had built a platform sturdy enough to encourage tinkering. Although the brand eventually fell under the Oliver Corporation in the 1920s, these machines stand tall in the annals of antique American harvesters for their dependable performance and that unmistakable red flair. Number 1, the Wood Brothers One-Runner Combine. Few names evoke the grassroots spirit of American manufacturing quite like the Wood Brothers. Operating out of Des Moines, Iowa, the company specialized in threshing machines before branching out into combines. Around the 1930s, they introduced what enthusiasts often called the One-Runner Combine, a pull-type unit that effectively harvested wheat, oats, and other grains. While not as large or famous maybe as some competing brands, the Wood Brothers Combine carved out a loyal following among small to mid-sized farms that valued reliable equipment without unnecessary frills. This combine typically came with a 6 to 8 foot header, narrower than some of its contemporaries, but perfect for fields with tight corners or maybe hilly terrain. The reel swept cut stalks onto a draper, feeding the threshing cylinder that separated the grain from the straw. By focusing on a smaller size, the Wood Brothers machine demanded less horsepower, often around 15 to 20, making it attractive to farmers who own smaller tractors. In the tough economic times of the 1930s, fewer horsepower requirements equaled less fuel consumption and operating costs. Now, one of the combine's standout features was the simplified drive system, which reduced the number of belts and pulleys susceptible to breakage. Now, this design philosophy also led to easier access points for maintenance. Belts could be swapped out quickly, and lubrication points were prominently marked. With fewer parts to break, downtime in the heat of harvest was minimal, something that could make the difference between a profit or a loss. Despite its modest footprint, the Wood Brothers Combine had a robust cleaning system, multiple sieves, and a fan that created an airstream to remove chaff. The combination of efficiency and durability gave farmers confidence that the machine could hold up season after season. In all seriousness, once the Wood Brothers Combine was set up properly, many owners found it so dependable that they boasted that the machine just wouldn't quit. It's a no-nonsense durability and approachable design that still warms the hearts of antique machinery collectors and farming enthusiasts, making the One-Runner Combine a worthy finisher on our list. Now, jokes aside, these relics of American agriculture remind us how ingenuity and sheer determination shaped our farms. We've covered 10 antique harvesters that showed early 1900s farmers a glimpse of a better, more efficient future. We hope you found this video helpful in rekindling a bit of that old-time farming spirit. And if you enjoyed our dive into these mechanical marvels, consider subscribing and joining our community. We've got more gear breakdowns, historical spotlights, and helpful insights on the way. Thanks for watching, and here's to keeping our agricultural heritage alive, one vintage machine at a time. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button.